Okay, so this is a video on how to end your loom piece and then weave in all your threads. So I just finished putting on my last row. And so what I do is I make sure that I have plenty of thread left. And then I go under the first thread, because I just came through the top, because you go under and then you come back over the top. So this is just me weaving this one in. And there we go. And then I go back about 2 rows. So I just zigzag back. And then I call that good for that one. And I cut it off, leaving enough that I can burn the ends when I'm done with all of this. Okay, so on the bottom thread, or when you start, well, I should say, when you start, because I work from bottom to top, so when you start your piece, you want to make sure that you leave enough thread to weave back in to fully anchor and secure everything. So just like we did with the top, except for this one's coming out of the bottom because it started beforehand. So it started when we went that way, and then the other thread came through the top, if that makes sense. So we go make sure that you're on the top layer of the beads so that it's securing it's securing this thread, the far outside thread, because it's pulling it together. Anyways, and then I go down to, or I guess up to, and I stop that, and then I cut that off. Doing the same thing where you cut it and you leave enough to burn at the end. Okay. So now it is time for me to pull these. It's a lot of parts on this loom. I love it though. It's the clover loom. With the roll bars and everything, and I absolutely love it. So now we are working on this. So I'm gonna go through and just a little bit and cut all my threads. If I can do this with the camera in front of me. There we go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, and then the other side. Okay. All right, so it's time to weave in my end threads. Now I'm kind of ADHD, so I just kind of pick wherever. Don't pick the very end ones yet. Give those a minute. So let's start with like a middle one. Okay. Put it on your needle. And you want to make sure that you have your threads long enough that you can do this. It's super important. So let me hold these so you don't see that. All the crazy. Alright, so that's the one we're working with. So the thing is right now you're coming out from in between the two threads, because we go down to the right and then back over to the left, creating two threads. So this first one, you want to skip that one. And then the rest of them, you're going to go in between. Now you can pick any random number. Let's just start off with a short, simple number. Like, we'll go through 2 of them. And so you want to like split between, I can't, there we go. If you can see, there it is. I'm going between the 2 threads, on both rows. So I'm following the thread path back up, and then I pull it, and I pull it nice and snug. Not like tight, but nice and snug. And then I take a 90-degree turn, and with the middle ones, it doesn't really matter which way you go, just pick a direction. With the side ones, I will show you how to do those in a minute. Alright, so once you pull that through, you want to cut that off just long enough that you can burn it. And go burn and tap it so it stays nice and flush. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. Where it is melted down. Alright, so that's just that one. So we'll do the one next to it. Alright, so the one next to it, we're going to skip the first row, go up through, I can't see this on the camera, go up through the second row, and up through the third. So actually I guess that's 2 as we counted last time. So we don't want to go through the same row twice. So we want to make sure that we go, so we went through 2 to the left. Now we're going to go up and do 2, but we're going to turn 90 degrees to the right, so that your thread goes out each end, but you're not burning a whole bunch of melted ends all in the same place, so they're really noticeable. Anytime you start getting beads pulling down, just grab your ends and gently push them back into place. I will give a better example of that here in a second, once I get this end burned. Any little extra bits that hanging off, you can just kind of pick off. Alright, so when I said up, I mean, so like if you get them sliding up like that, just grab all your ends there and just gently pull them back down. Alright, now, let's see, we've done a couple there. So the next one, can't grab it with the band-aid finger. There it is. I can do it. Maybe I can't. There we go. Stubborn thread. Alright, so we've gone left and we've gone right through row 2. Technically row 3. So we're going to skip the first row, go through the next one, and then go through row, I guess if we're counting it as 2. So now this time I'm going to go up to 3. And 3, we're going to go to the left. 3 to the left. And come out. Cut it off. And melt it down. Now, see, so for these middle ones, it doesn't really matter which direction you go, left or right. When you start getting to the end, so we'll do the edge ones now here. So this is the far end and wrap thread. And I can do it. Alright, so with this one, instead of following the thread path back up, because you can't really follow it back up, I go through the bead. And come out on the far side. You might have a little, it might pull your bead a little to the side at first, but when we do the next row, it'll help pull that together and make it all nice, because like that's how the other end looks, and that's how I did this. Did that end. You get what I mean. So I'm going to cut that one off. But I'm going to wait to burn it for a second. Make sure all my beads are nice and tight. So we just did that far end. This one. So now we're going to go to the opposite side. Thread it. And so I'm going to go up through these beads. So the opposite direction we just came. Alright. Make sure all my threads are nice and tight. Cut that off. And now we're gonna burn the ends. So burn it, tap it down. Burn it, tap it down. Okay. So now the only other part that I really need to like explain is, so the next thread's over on the far side. Pretty much all of these ones that are left, so like the last 4 rows on this side, I want to go and take them, we're going to follow up the thread path, so hold on. Let me not get ahead of myself. Thread it, there we go. Alright, so we're working with this one right here. So you want to still go over this one, so skip that one, go up the thread path, splitting them as you go. Let's see, let's find one that I haven't done. So I have not done 3 yet. Yeah. Or what I'm calling 3. So I've gone up 3. Instead of turning right and going out just 1 bead, I'm going to turn left so it goes through the entire line. Yep, there we go. And out, because that's going to be more secure than just going through 1 bead and then melting the end. Technically, you'd probably be fine, but I like to have it extra secure, just to be on the safe side. Tap you down. And so I will then take the other end, the other, like, second one from the end, and do the same exact thing. Let me thread this. There we go. So we skip the first row, we split the second, well, I guess the first, second, and third row. Oops, shit. I didn't say that. Being temperamental. There we go. All right, so we've gone up the thread path, and now you see when I pulled that tight, it pulled this one that I showed you before that was a little like sticking out to the side. It just pulled that nice and straight. So we went up 3. Now we're going to take a 90-degree turn, and we are going to go out to the left. Sure, why not? I don't actually know where all we've been. ADHD at its finest and anxiety for making videos, it makes my memory a little fuzzy. Especially when it comes to counting numbers. Did not get that tight enough. Burned enough? Melt. There we go. Alright. And so, as I said, for like the outside, or the ones that are closer to the edge, you want to take the thread path up and then 90 degrees to the opposite side. So these would go up and to the right. These ones over here would go up and to the left. And so when it all gets done, completely done, it looks like that. And this, you can, well, okay, I haven't got them fully secured yet, but the middle's secure. So middle, I can go as hard as I want to, and it's not going anywhere. The end piece that I like got there, yeah, yep. So you got nice and sturdy piece then.